Hey, it is I, Rocket Man, and this is the world according to Rocket. There are 4 landmines in next season's schedule: Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, and Georgia. Any one of those or any combination of those can just wreck our season, and we're going to start looking at them today. Come on in.
Broadcasting live from the only establishment in town that can't kick him out. His own basement. The world according to Rocket.
The 4 landmines, as I said: Florida, South Carolina, Alabama, and Georgia. All right. Today, we're going to look at Florida. We have to go to Florida. We have to go to the swamp to play. All right. That's never easy. It's never, ever easy for Tennessee. It never has been. And it certainly hasn't been for the last, 10 or 15 years. Right. But we have an excellent chance this year. It all goes through the quarterback position. And I thought I would get somebody who knew something about that situation down in Florida. Our quarterback situation is pretty good. Let's go see what Florida's quarterback situation is. Okay, my little furry animals, we have a guest today, and it's going to be fun. Before you get your orange and white checkerboard overalls in a bunch, he's a Florida guy, but actually, I understand he's a Clemson guy who is a Florida fan. What the hell? How did that happen? Will Thomas is my guest today. Welcome, Will.
Happy to be here. Thanks, Rocket.
Yes, sir. Tell me the Clemson, Florida, Tennessee triangle thing. This is kind of bizarre. I didn't realize that.
That's right. So my whole family, a lot of my family went to UF. Both my parents went for grad school. I got a cousin there right now. So I grew up a giant Gator fan. And I always wanted to go to UF. It was my dream school. But when my college application process came down to it, I did not qualify. So I ended up here at Clemson because I wanted to come down to a big football school.
Let me stop you for a second. How do you not qualify to get into Florida? I mean, with the problems that they've had all through their sports history, how do you not qualify? I thought they let anybody in there.
They let anybody in if you're from Florida. I'll tell you that much. But out of state, it's harder to get in there. But I still
I see.
Yes, sir. Still wanted to come down south, so ended up at Clemson, another big football school, still having fun. But I've always I still got Florida first in my heart when it comes to cheering. Like, if it's ever Florida versus Clemson, I'm putting on my Florida jersey, and I'm putting it on in front of all my friends. Yes, sir. And I got a passion for sports reporting, writing, want to be a broadcaster. So being able to cover University of Florida it's kind of my dream. So it's really fun that I get to live it out now with the website I write for. And I'm really happy to be doing this with you because it's a better way for me to get my name out there and keep doing it.
Great transition into, tell me about, let me just tell our viewers how I found you. Yesterday, was it yesterday? I think it was yesterday. I did a show on way too early predictions. And so I'm thinking that quarterbacks are so very important in the SEC particularly, and the national championship and the whole college football playoff thing. If you don't have a quarterback who's killing it, you ain't going to be there at the end. Would you agree with that?
Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're doing good, and we're doing really good in the quarterback department up here in Knoxville, right? We're doing really good. I'm very excited about it now, and I knock on wood that it stays that way. And I'm going, okay, we have 4 games, and some people would argue there's more, but I think there are 4 games that are potential landmines, right, for Tennessee. Number 1, the first one we have this season coming up in the fall in September is Florida. And that's aggravated by the fact that we got to go to Florida at the swamp and play. That's how I found you. You write for Fansided, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Well,
yes, sir.
Explain explain what you do. You're a sports writer, and you write for Florida on Fansided.
I do. So Fansided is the company. They've got websites for just about every college. There's one for Tennessee. I forget what the name of that site is actually, but I have worked with them before. So I work for Fansided. That's the company. My website's Hail Florida Hail. I've got a partner. His name is Ben. He and I have been having fun. It's really fun working with him. We just cover, right now we're covering the basketball season as it goes on. We're previewing baseball and softball. We just kind of get all the Gator sports and recruiting and everything like that. So it's been a really fun time writing for them.
Let me just take the temperature about the whole Napier coaching thing. Mm-hmm. Didn't go so well the first year, right? What's your take on that?
Last year, the expectations going into last year were all not great for Florida, right? You couldn't really find an expert on a TV show or anything that said they're going to get any more than 8 wins. And we ended up 6-6 with that loss in the bowl game, so we were 6-7. And looking back, it's a little disappointing given the potential that was there with that team, especially with Anthony Richardson. Like, he's going to be a first-round quarterback, it seems. He's going to get picked first round as a project guy. But the offense never really got clicking. The one biggest critique I will say of Napier is that he has not hired an offensive coordinator. He was calling the plays. And there were a few times last year where it felt like, we're taking a deep shot on 3rd and 2. And we're not getting it. We got a punt. I remember playing the Tennessee game, actually. I forget, it was like 3rd and 1 or 4th and 1. And we threw a deep ball, and it worked. So hindsight's 2020, it worked. But it's just kind of play calls like that people were a little skeptical on. And that's the biggest critique of him now. But I think grand scheme, there's a lot of optimism. He's a disciple of both Dabo Swinney and Nick Saban, so he knows what elite level coaching is like. And he took Louisiana, that just a little program that didn't mean a lot. He got him ranked. He got him a bunch of conference championships. And the one big thing for me is that the 2 transfers he brought in from Louisiana with him, Montrell Johnson, the running back, who's still going to be with us next year, and Osiris Torrance, the guard, he might be a first-round guy. Those 2 are some of the best players on our team. So there's a lot of faith that he's a great talent evaluator. He's got guys who buy into the program, and he's really good at running the program with coaches and players who are loyal to him and understand his mission. So it's definitely going to be a long-term build. I think this year we don't win more than 8 games either. But I think there's a lot of optimism around Napier and his staff in Gainesville right now.
Did you come to the game in Knoxville this past season?
I did not. I was visiting my cousin in Nashville, funnily, and he was like, I got a guy who might be able to get us tickets, but it kind of fell through. But no, I wasn't able to make it.
Gotcha. Well, they scared the hell out of us there in the last minute. I mean, we did. I'm going, guys, come on.
What was crazy? I had turned the game off when we were down like 2 scores on you guys late. And all of a sudden I look at my phone and we got the ball down by 6.
Right.
Yeah, that was a tough game. You guys were a hell of a team, and that was a great game to watch.
The theme of this particular broadcast is, what am I looking at when I come to the Swamp and play next year's team in Gainesville? So I first look at the quarterback. Right now, what is going on with that? I'm going to call it a dumpster fire. I mean, no offense, but that's whole a great quarterback.
Name for it. That's a fantastic name for it, actually. That's perfect.
I mean, explain the Rashada thing to me.
Right. So for a long time, no one had any idea what the hell was going on, because there was the rumblings a few weeks ago that he was unhappy with his NIL deal, like he wasn't getting enough. Then it was falsely reported he was going to release, and then 2 days later he did ask for a release. And then the details came out yesterday or 2 days ago that were his actual contract. And, I mean, the numbers are ridiculous. I don't know if you saw the numbers of the contract that he signed. Yeah. I mean, $500K up front is ridiculous. And then the monthly payments of like $200,000. His highest was going to be $375,000 a month his junior year.
Okay. Hang on a second. Are you telling me they were going to pay him $250,000 a month?
His freshman year. Before he even played, they were going to give him $250,000 a month. I mean, the deal was unbelievable.
My God. I thought Nico had a good deal. Right?
Yeah. I mean,
oh, man. It's going to kill college football, I think.
It's got to. It can't keep going. It can't keep growing the same pace it's growing, for sure. It's got to slow down a little bit.
Okay, so my understanding is that, and for those of you who don't know Rashada, it's Jaden Rashada. He's supposed to be a hotshot quarterback coming out of high school. going to Florida, and then had this $13 million deal, and correct me if anything is wrong here, had a $13 million deal. For some reason, it fell apart, and he's now going to Arizona State, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so it seems like what happened is that he had it. The worst part about it is that none of it's really his fault. So now that everything's come out, you really have to feel bad for him, because it seems like his camp, the guys that were kind of vouching for him, trying to get his deal, got a little too greedy. Because if it was just a University of Florida issue, you would think that another big school like LSU or something would have come in and grabbed them. Like, say, yeah, we'll give you $10 million. But now he's at Arizona State, a bottom-tier Pac-12 school with no NIL deal. So it seems like he wasn't really in control. It wasn't him facilitating the negotiations. It was people around him that ended up costing him that NIL deal in the spot at UF.
The heir apparent is gone. The heir apparent to Anthony Richardson, right? He's gone. And so now I read through your writing and reporting that they're getting the quarterback from Wisconsin, Mertz.
Yeah, Graham Mertz.
Right? Tell me about Mertz.
Well, when the news broke that we were getting Mertz, I don't think you could find a single UF fan who was actually very happy about it. Because the whole time before that, there were rumors like, oh, Sam Hartman's got interest in Gainesville. Now Devin Leary's in the portal. Now Grayson McCall's might be visiting Gainesville. And then all that, they all went to different schools. It all fell through, and then we're stuck with Graham Mertz. So the initial reaction is, what in the world happened? How did we get stuck with this guy who couldn't throw the ball at Wisconsin, and it was just a middle-of-the-pack Big Ten guy? But maybe this is just my bias and my need to be optimistic here, but he fits really well into the system that Napier wants to run. Like, he's not going to give us deep post 50-yard bombs like you guys threw every other play and scored on this past season. He's going to be like no deeper than 10 yards down the field most of the time, and we're going to be a run-heavy offense anyways with our two running backs, Etienne and Johnson. And Napier did a great job of getting in O-line transfers this year. A lot of size, huge guys, one guy from Kentucky, one from Baylor. So he won't have a lot of pressure on him, Mertz won't, to be making plays on his own. It's going to be more facilitating, just don't make any mistakes, make the throws you need to make, because we'll mainly be a ground and pound offense.
Gotcha. ATN is coming back?
He is, yeah. I mean, that was his freshman year last year. He's still got 2 more years with us.
Oh, okay. I guess I was thinking of his brother, who was at Clemson. Yeah. Right. Oh, okay.
He was, yeah.
Gotcha. Is Mertz or Wirtz? Wirtz.
Mertz. M.
Mertz. Like Fred and Ethel. Is Mertz going to be the quarterback, or
he will?
He will be? It
will be, because so he's our backup is Jack Miller, the guy who started in the bowl game for us, and he was not any good. It might have just been jitters. It was his first game. He could use some more time, but Mertz has proven himself to this point, and Miller hasn't. So it'll definitely be Mertz for at least the first few games. You guys will see Mertz unless he gets hurt, for sure.
What are the fans like in terms of their reaction to Napier? Are they happy? Do they share your optimism, or what? Generally,
they're pretty happy about him. I mean, the way that Mullen left the program, it was full of players who didn't really want to be there. It was not great coaching, and Napier's. I mean, we said the same things about Mullen, granted 2 years in, but he's got the vision, and it seems like he's recruiting guys who really do want to be Gators. So the transition, I think it's going to be slow. Like I said before, we're not going to be great competitors this year. Maybe we'll beat a good team or two like we beat Utah this past season. But there's good vibes around Napier and what he's going to be able to do. Definitely.
Now, getting back to the quarterback thing, Napier made some comments that we'll see who will be the quarterback after the spring game. So he's not sure about Mertz yet.
He's not. You're right. He did make the comment where it's like, it's a fluid situation. We're not committing to anybody yet.
I'm glad. I bet Mertz was really happy to hear that.
I do think part of that is just kind of Napier's coaching style. I would have been surprised if he came out there and said, yeah, no, Mertz is the guy. Miller's not have a chance. Mertz is the guy. I do believe him, though. It's definitely going to be an open competition, but I would be shocked if Mertz isn't the day one starter.
Have you followed Nico Iamaleava at all?
A little bit, not very closely, but I know who he is. Yeah,
He's our $8 million guy.
Mm-hmm.
Now, he's not our $13 million guy, but our $8 million guy showed up at least.
Yeah, he's there. That worked.
And he's looking good.
Mm-hmm.
But so is Joe Milton. So let's just get down to it.
Mm-hmm.
Tennessee coming to Florida. We got the Gators and those crazy fans, and I tell you, they are crazy.
Yeah, no, we're wild.
Yeah, and it's intimidating as hell. I've been to games down there. It is not fun if you're a Tennessee fan, right? And I'm sure it's the exact same way for Florida coming to Knoxville. What are you thinking? Are you thinking that Tennessee's going to walk in this one, or do they have a chance? What do you think?
I mean, I'm sure part of it's just because I'm not crazy old yet, and not to call you old. Sorry, that sounded rude. I haven't watched as many games as you have, but I don't have a memory in my brain of Tennessee winning in the Swamp at all. I can only remember us losing to you guys twice. So it's hard for me to sit back and think we don't have a chance in this game. Tennessee's definitely the better team overall. I got no doubt about that. Your quarterbacks are better. I think you've got better skilled players. But especially if we get like a 7:30 kick, I think we'll see the same effect that Florida had against Utah in the Swamp this year. It's just a different environment. I mean, we almost beat Alabama 2 years ago. We beat Utah last year. I think we've like the Swamp's got one game in it every year where the road team just doesn't really have a chance. Although granted, Bama beat us, but where the game is swung like 2 possessions just by the environment. So I think that's going to be this game. So it'll be a close game. I'm not saying Florida's going to run all over you guys. I think it'll be an awesome game, but I do think that if the Swamp is at its full capacity, Florida isn't way worse than we think they're going to be. They're the 7-win team we think they're going to be. That's going to be a great game.
I would imagine. I think typically that game is like 3:30 Eastern.
It is.
And it kind of bleeds into the nighttime. Same thing with LSU. I was so thankful this past year. We went to LSU and whooped up on them really good at 11 o'clock
crazy.
in the morning.
Everyone had their coffee in their hand, and you guys were up by 21 before they finished it.
I know. So yeah, but I just, and my subscribers and listeners and viewers, they're going, Rocket Man, we're going to go down there and kill Florida. And I'm going, if you've never been to the Swamp, you wouldn't be saying that because it's dangerous down there. It really, really is.
I will say the Tennessee writer I worked with last year, who's also at Fansided, I forget his name, but one of the questions I asked him was, you guys are like 10-point favorites. You're playing at home. What's the level of confidence you guys have winning this game? And he wrote back, as Tennessee fans, one of the things that I always know for certain is that we might not beat Florida and it's going to be an awesome game. So I think that that's just what this rivalry is. I mean, the game's going to be close, no matter who's the higher ranked team, no matter where it is. I think it's going to be a great game.
Right. Yeah, I completely agree with you. That's why it concerns me, and that's why I wanted to get some input from a fine young writer like yourself. I am impressed, sir.
Thank you. I am happy to be born in the era I was in, where we had that 11-game streak over you guys, because it gave me
shut up! Now you didn't have to bring that up.
It eased
I was
me
being
into
nice
the rivalry.
to you.
It eased me into it, because now I can deal with you guys beating us this year and being the better team. I'm able to cope with it.
Well, it's getting ready to come to the fore now, because I'm excited about the team we have and the coach we have, and just the vibe around Tennessee is crazy good. They finally got him some money, and he's going to be there now for quite a long while.
Yeah, I saw that.
And
yeah,
he got him up to $9 million. I would have preferred $10 million, but with perks, but $9 million will take it. I mean, he was like third from the bottom. Heupel was like third from the bottom in the SEC at $5 million, and everybody that he beat was ahead of him. And I'm going, this is just not. And I did that for a month. I yelled about that for a month, and he finally got his money. Okay, fellow's name is Will Thomas, and he writes for Fansided. And you can go. I'll tell me what I should put across the screen here, so they can find you if they would like to follow you. And
all right, you can do the website up there, hailfloridahail.com. Our Twitter is the same thing. It's at hailfloridahail. If you guys ever want to check it out, it's nice and simple, just the name, and we're hopefully you can check it out and enjoy what you see.
Cool, man. I appreciate it. And I really do thank you very much for coming on. And I wish you luck with your, with your broadcast career. If I can help in any way, just let me know, right? I appreciate it. And this is not the last time that we will do this.
I hope not. This was fun. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it.
All right, pal. All right. That's Will Thomas from Fansided.com. We'll be right back. Hey there, if you like this channel, please hammer that like button and hammer that subscribe button. Daddy needs a new pair of shoes. I'd appreciate it. Ready? Are you ready for the trip of a lifetime? Well, look no farther than LuxuryTravelWorldwide.com for the ultimate luxury travel experience to Paris. No, not that Paris. This Paris. Paris, France, the city of lights. Imagine strolling along the Champs-Élysées, taking in the sights, the sounds of this iconic boulevard, indulging in some of the world's finest dining at Michelin-starred restaurants, savoring a glass of champagne on a sidewalk cafe, or taking in the stunning views from the top of the Eiffel Tower. Experience the opulence, the grandeur of the Palace of Versailles. Marvel at the masterpieces of the Louvre, and stroll through the charming streets of Montmartre. And when the day is done, you simply retire to your luxurious hotel, where you'll be pampered with the world-class amenities and unparalleled service. LuxuryTravelWorldwide.com is your personal travel concierge, taking care of every detail to ensure that your trip is nothing short of perfect. From the private tours and transportation to exclusive access to the city's hidden gems, we'll create a bespoke itinerary that is tailored to your every desire. So don't wait. Start planning your dream vacation to Paris, France, today with LuxuryTravelWorldwide.com and experience the wonder and joy of luxury travel. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down. Knock you off your feet. I'm in love with you. I don't know. That song's been in my head all day long. Hey, thanks to my guest, Will Thomas, again. And, of course, thanks to you for watching and listening and all the support. Appreciate you a whole lot. Say your prayers, share your toys. Don't hurt anybody unless they try to steal your lunch money. Can't let that happen. Go Big Orange. We'll see you in the next video.